Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive. Today we're tackling a question that's probably crossed all our minds at some point.
Hmm.
The whole destiny thing. Do we choose it, or does it choose us?
Destiny.
Exactly. And to explore that, we're going to Brazil.
Brazil.
Yep, Curitiba, back in 2003. Our source material is this story, the selection. It follows this young woman, Karina, as she kind of stumbles into this whole destiny question.
I've read it. Really makes you think about the choices we make. Or don't make. Like how much is actually in our control.
Right. You'll see as we go, Karina's story, it's like a mirror,
Mm,
reflecting things we might be facing in our own lives.
absolutely. You think it's going to be a simple story, just a young woman visiting her sister, but then,
But then
yeah.
things get interesting.
Hmm.
So picture this. Karina's visiting her sister, Christina. Now, Christina's really into all that mystical, spiritual stuff.
Crystals, tarot, the whole 9 yards.
And she's made this new friend, Lucas. He's a nurse.
But wait for it.
Okay, I'm waiting.
He also reads futures with gypsy cards.
A nurse who reads futures. That's a new one.
Seriously. Makes you wonder, right? Maybe he sees a connection between healing the body and understanding, like, the path our lives are on.
That's deep. So Christina's all excited to get her future read, obviously. She invites Lucas over. But here's the thing. She mentions Karina, too.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucas, well, he seems really interested.
Yeah, the story hints that this meeting, it wasn't just random. Like, Lucas was supposed to find Karina.
Destiny at work.
Maybe, but Karina, not so thrilled about this whole future reading thing.
I bet.
She's kind of anxious, calls him a wizard even. You know, she's from a small town, worried about having enough food, being a good host, all that.
I get that.
Yeah.
Meeting new people can be nerve-wracking,
Hmm.
especially if they're into stuff you don't quite understand. So what happens when Lucas actually shows up? Is he a full-on wizard?
Not exactly what Karina's expecting. He looks younger than she thought, and he's got this warm personality, really puts her at ease.
Oh, so no wizard ropes then.
Nope, but then he says this weird thing like, time is your best friend.
Okay, that's kind of cryptic. Wizardy even.
Right. And that's where it gets really interesting. That comment, it's not just small talk. Lucas, he knows something about Karina. He knows she's got this hidden potential.
Hidden
She
potential.
has this rare gene. It makes her a time sorceress.
Wait, hold on. Did you say time sorceress?
I did.
Wow, okay. Things just took a turn. So all that anxiety about food and wizards, that just vanishes when he drops this bombshell.
It's like her world suddenly explodes. He points out her fascination with watches, how that's actually a clue to this hidden ability. And even her mom, without knowing it, she kind of nurtured it by giving Karina all those watches as gifts.
Whoa. So what you're saying is maybe we all have these little clues to our hidden talents and passions just tucked away in our everyday routines.
Exactly. Makes you think, what if we paid more attention to those things that spark our curiosity? Maybe we'd all discover something amazing about ourselves. But back to Karina. What happens after Lucas reveals this huge truth about her? How does she react?
Yeah, finding out you're a time sorceress, that's got to be a lot to process. Does she believe him right away?
Well, the story doesn't really say, but things definitely shift. They finish eating, there's this anticipation for the reading, and as Lucas prepares, something strange happens. He changes, like his whole demeanor, he puts on this scarf, ribbons, almost like a different energy takes over.
Spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's tapping into something like magical?
It definitely hints at some deeper forces at work. Remember, he was sent by his superiors to find Karina.
Right, right.
So there's this bigger organization, a purpose involved. It's like we're getting a glimpse behind the curtain of reality, you know?
Time sorceress, secret organization, a nurse who reads futures. Okay, I am officially hooked.
It gets even better. They move to the living room for the reading. Christina goes first, and Karina, she's watching closely, taking notes like a student, eager to learn.
Oh, the anticipation.
Yeah.
She's already been hit with the time sorceress thing. Now she's got to know what her future holds.
Hold on, though. You mentioned Lucas being sent by his superiors?
Yeah. So was he looking for someone with Karina's abilities specifically? Like scouting her out?
It's possible. He did say she was the perfect person for a mission. Maybe he saw something in her that made her ideal for a specific task, or was testing her without her even knowing, observing her reactions and stuff.
Ooh, a secret test. This is getting good. But let's get back to the reading. It's finally Karina's turn, and she's nervous. What does Lucas tell her about her destiny?
He says she's destined to discover the world. But here's the thing. He seems to be holding back. Like, he sees more, a bigger purpose for her, but she's not ready to grasp it yet.
Okay, that's frustrating. But he does give her some practical magic tips, right?
Yeah, like special baths to have prophetic dreams, flower spells for harmony, little things to start incorporating magic into her daily life.
Interesting. So, like a taste of what's possible.
Hmm.
But why not just tell her everything? If he knows more, I mean.
Maybe he believes some things are better discovered through experience, that the journey's just as important as the destination.
I could see that. He's like a guide pointing her in the right direction, but letting her find her own way.
Oh,
Makes you think free will versus fate,
yeah.
you know?
That's a question for the ages. But for Karina, she now knows about this destiny she didn't even realize existed. How she reacts to that, that's what we'll explore next.
So we've got Karina, small town girl, suddenly facing a destiny she never imagined. It's like her whole world's been flipped upside down. I know I'd be feeling a whirlwind of emotions. What happens next? How does she deal with this?
It's a lot to take in. The story says that meeting Lucas, it leaves a real mark on both Karina and Christina. Like something big just went down, a shift in the energy between them.
I bet. It's not every day you find out your sister's a time sorceress.
Right.
But does Karina actually accept this destiny, this path Lucas has laid out?
Well, here's where it gets interesting. At first, she's resistant, doesn't want to leave the countryside.
Makes sense.
She's comfortable there. Venturing into the unknown, it's daunting.
It's human nature, right? Clinging to what's familiar, even when we sense there might be something more out there waiting for us.
Exactly. And with Karina, it's not just leaving home. It's this whole world of magic, this organization, stuff that was probably just fantasy to her before.
It's true. Change can be scary, even when it's exciting. Stepping outside your comfort zone, it can be unsettling, for sure.
It takes real courage to embrace destiny, facing your fears, trusting in something bigger than yourself, maybe even leaving behind everything you know.
Heavy stuff. So, Karina's hesitant. But what about Christina? How does she feel about all of this?
Their perspectives are totally different. Christina seems more open to Karina leaving, even predicts she might move to the city, like she sees this different future for her sister, one that embraces all this potential.
That's such a great point. It makes me wonder about their relationship going forward. Will Christina be like, go for it, sis? Or will they clash over this?
It happens all the time, right? In families, friendships, the people around us, they shape our choices, whether they realize it or not. They can support us or hold us back, sometimes even with good intentions. It makes you think about your own support system. Who's cheering you on? Who might be holding you back?
Totally. Finding that balance between your dreams and the people you care about. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But, okay, back to the story. After the reading, does Lucas just hang around Curitiba?
No, he takes off. And it's kind of mysterious. Doesn't say when they'll meet again or even IOF. Just leaves them with all these questions hanging in the air.
So much suspense. Karina thinks she belongs in the countryside. Christina thinks she's city-bound. It's like something's in motion, but nobody knows the outcome.
Exactly. That uncertainty is what makes it so good. It reflects the uncertainties we all face, right? The choices we make, the paths we take, this whole idea of destiny, it's not set in stone. Karina still has to decide how she reacts to this revelation.
I love that. It's not just about magic and fate, but about choice. Even if there's some grand plan, we still shape our own journey.
Makes you wonder, what encounters in our lives might be shaping our destinies without us even knowing? People we've met, things we've experienced, nudging us in a direction or maybe holding us back.
Ooh, good questions.
Right, like that quote, and when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it.
Love that. Maybe we need to be more tuned into those signs, those chance meetings that could be guiding us. But let's circle back. You said Lucas was sent by his superiors to find Karina, that she was perfect for a mission. Do we know anything about this mission? What do these superiors want?
It's frustrating, right? The story doesn't give us much, just that it's connected to Lucas's superiors and that Karina's crucial to it. But the specifics, total mystery.
Oh, come on. Don't leave us hanging. But I love how this story blends the ordinary with the extraordinary. Like, 1 minute we're worried about snacks, the next minute it's magic and secret missions. Anything feels possible.
I know. It reminds us that even in our routines, there might be adventures waiting. It's about being open to the unexpected and realizing that sometimes the most incredible journeys, they start with a simple encounter.
Beautifully said. Okay, recap time. Karina, the unsuspecting time sorceress, mysterious mission, secret organization, a destiny unfolding. But what happens next, T? Does she dive into this world of magic or bury it and stay in her comfort zone?
Well, we've got to go a little deeper into the story to find out. Remember, these excerpts, they're just the beginning of Karina's journey. There's so much more to uncover.
Ugh, the suspense. But for now, gotta leave our listeners hanging. I'm hooked, and I know I'm not the only one. What do you say we pick this back up next time and finally reveal what Karina decides? All right, let's catch back up with Karina. Time sorceress, huge destiny ahead, but she's not exactly packing her bags to leave the countryside. Kind of tough spot to be in, right?
It is. It's like being told you have a destiny is one thing. Choosing to embrace it, that's a whole other story.
It's like those hero stories, you know. They always have that moment where they have to decide, answer the call, or stay in their ordinary world. That's what makes them a hero, that choice.
Totally. And Karina, she doesn't just jump at the chance to be this time-traveling wizard. She hesitates, doubts, questions. It's what makes her relatable, you know?
Big time. Who hasn't felt that pull? Comfort of the known versus, like, the allure of the unknown.
Yeah.
Like that saying, a ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for.
Ooh, good one. Karina's a ship, all right, but there are some serious anchors holding her back. Leaving everything she knows, it's scary.
It makes me think about intuition, too. Like that gut feeling that tells you there's more to life than what you're currently experiencing, even if you can't explain it.
Right. Intuition's powerful, especially with big decisions. That little voice saying, pay attention, trust your gut.
So while Karina's figuring things out, what about Christina?
Mm.
She was all about this destiny thing. Does she try to push Karina in any direction?
It doesn't really say, but you gotta imagine they talked about it, right? Different perspectives, different hopes and fears. Remember, Christina predicted Karina might move to the city, like a stepping stone to something bigger.
True, true. The people we're close to, they influence us, even if we don't realize it. They can reflect our own stuff back at us or be the ones that push us when we need it.
Exactly. Makes you wonder, different support system, different outcome for Karina. It's a good reminder the relationships we have, they shape our lives.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, what are the big takeaways here? We've got Karina, small-town girl turned time sorceress, secret mission, a destiny that's just starting to unfold. What's the lesson here?
Life throws curveballs. You can have plans, but fate, or maybe just a random meeting, it can change everything. Being open to that, to the unexpected, that's key. And listening to your gut, having the courage to go for it, even when it's scary.
And we choose how we respond to those curveballs. Destiny might nudge, but we decide what path to take, what future to build.
Don't forget about the people around us, too. Our support system, they impact our choices big time, whether they're cheering us on, challenging us, or guiding us.
Well said. So we're leaving Karina at a crossroads. Time sorceress, facing a destiny she never saw coming. Leaves us with a question for everyone listening. If you were Karina, what would you choose? Embrace the unknown or stick with what's familiar?
Something to think about. Because sometimes the most amazing adventures, they start with a single choice. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the selection. We'll catch you next time for more fascinating stories and questions worth exploring.